So I just got these quarter panel cuts in today. Like they look like rubbish, and they would be to most people, but that is golden to me. So you can see there's just enough metal left through there. And we've got all these shapes. Like I guess these are more the important parts. It's probably easier to get these straight parts, but getting all these shapes, like all these corner shapes here right, was proving to be a little bit difficult. You can see one of my mates had a go at it, and we would have continued to if we had to, but yeah, it's just so handy having that. So I've got both of these for $600. This one's in a little bit worse condition, but there's still enough metal there to kind of weld to. And as I say, if we need to sort of attach like one or two little strips of metal here and there, then so be it. But we've got the basic shapes. I guess like around here is nearly the most important part, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a good clean up on them tonight. My mate's gonna be coming over on Saturday again to give me a hand getting. So I've got the back panel. I've actually got a new lower back panel, or beaver panel, what you might call it. I thought I'd just give you guys a look at this stuff that I've been talking about in other videos. So the phosphoric acid or rust buster. So it's a rust converter. I'd call it more of a rust killer. Like, see, so this is after 2 or 3 treatments, right? And you can see that that's clean bare metal, right? There's no impurities, there's no rust left on it, anything at all. But there was some, it was that color, it was rusty looking rust, right? Sorry about that, it's just started raining pretty heavily. Hopefully you can still hear me. But yeah, so the reason I wanted to show you, stop on this point here, is to show you how much better and more gentle it is to use a rust converter, or you know, a phosphoric acid and a wire wheel. If I had have gone and sent these down to the sandblaster, there'd be nothing left. I would have nothing to weld to, and this is ultra important. This is what those tail light buckets weld to. Same thing both sides, just being gentle. As you can see there's still a bit of brown, so I've given that a wire wheel, and because there's still a bit of brown, I'll just spray a little bit more of that on, you know. So yeah, as I say, it's much more gentle, and as some people have said, sandblasting is for lazy people, but that's what it looks like overnight after you leave it overnight. So previously that looks kind of like, you know, your brown rust, right? You put your phosphoric acid on, leave it overnight, it looks like that, and then what we'll do here is and if it's still brown, as you can see, it is still brown there, I'll give it a little bit more of a wire wheel, and then I'll apply a little bit more of that phosphoric acid, and we should have that looking like this before we know it. Do you know what you're doing?
No.
That's good. That makes 2 of us.
That goes in behind there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. So we got the 3 panels. So we got that's got to go on the inside. We got that sandwiched in the middle, and then we got the back panel that goes on top. Fun times.
That's full of lead, so we've got to probably have to remove the lead through here to weld.
Yeah.
Unless I cut back here further, probably better to do.
Yeah.
Cut more of this corner here off.
Yeah.
But I left that curve on there so we can work out the radius.
Oh yeah, where it goes. Like that's a good idea. Yeah, like a good little guide marker for where it welds to the quarter panel. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And then yeah, I guess you've got to get like that right as well, or else.
You know how last time I tacked it?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just drill a little hole, put this tack screws.
Peck screws, yeah.
And then just put the whole back panel as well.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. You kind of need to get the whole thing.
We don't really know where exactly where that could be fucking.
Exactly, yeah.
Or wherever
you need to get the whole thing sort of fitted up, then the whole thing might need moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like a big jigsaw puzzle. And the parts that we're working with are not exactly original. Like, if you look at these kind of parts over here, it's really not that helpful. It's not even the full panel. It doesn't actually go right up underneath the car to where it's meant to be welded to. Most of this is going to get cut out, I reckon, but I did clean up on here the other day, treating it with the rust killer. But we're getting there. Now I feel like we're starting to get somewhere. Okay. So that's the inside of both of these doors, all bare metaled and into epoxy primer. So I did weld in the worst of them. There was like, you know, some holes that you could kind of see daylight through around there. But then you can see that I've gone and skimmed those welds just with a little bit of this metal bog. I was put onto this by a panel beater here in Melbourne. Yeah, that's right, Vintique Moto. So I recommend going and checking him out at the very least on Instagram, Vintique Moto. So I didn't end up bare metaling all of the inside in there. What I did was I just got the wire wheel and just got all of the loose stuff off. You can see that I put epoxy primer on the inside too. Now I did also give it some Penetrol. So I do quite like this stuff, but I mainly use that for the areas that you can't get to with your rust buster or the phosphoric acid over there. Anyway, so the reason I got the cam out is because we're gonna have a bit of fun now. We're gonna make a bit of a mess, but it's gonna be fun. This door is definitely not in a good way, but I'm gonna strip all of that paint off and I'm going to be using that buff. So this is just a standard automotive buff. You can get these backing plates. The backing plate's like 20 bucks from Bunnings. One of these pads is about 5 bucks from Bunnings. This is 16 grit, believe it or not. So very coarse. Now I'm going to be wearing my respirator and eye protection. That's probably all I'm going to need, but it's going to get very, very dusty. I don't think it's going to be so loud that I'm going to need ear protection. So this door here was proof to me that you can put a lot of body filler into a door without just having it fall out for no reason. Now there was that big section towards the front of the door around here where it did just start falling out, but that did fall out for a good reason. There was holes on the inside of the door and it started rusting from the inside out. But as for the rest of this door, you can see that is quite thick with body filler and it's holding. So that's actually why I did decide to just refill this door. Many people sort of looked at this door and said, oh, it's toast, you know, get a new one, replace it. I did have a quick look and I ended up finding that all the replacement doors or all the second-hand doors that I was able to get were not that much better than this. So I'd be, you know, $500 or so out of pocket. And what, you just have a little bit less bog in it. That's all it really came down to. So look, there might be some people out, no doubt there is some people out there who would have put a door skin on it, and they are available, but again, that's $400 to $500 and more effort required to go in to put the door skin on. I've never done a door skin, so that's ultimately why I did decide to just clean it right up, weld up all of the holes, and yeah, epoxy primer and body filler it up. So I'm not saying this is the only way to do it, but it's the way that I did it, and I'm pretty damn confident that it's going to last for a long time. And the other side of it is, even if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. So like, I'm at the point where I've been sort of keeping track of how much money I'm spending on this build, and it's already up to about $12,000, so it's getting expensive already. So, you know, where possible, I'm trying to save a bit of money. Like, I did get a few new panels. I got 2 new front doors. I had to get them. and I wasn't quite happy with my passenger side guard. So as I say, like if I think it warrants replacing the panels, I have been. Even all the metal that I've been putting into the back of the car, you know, there was $1,000 just for that back panel, and another $600 for the tail light ends, as I say. But yeah, for that left-hand rear door, I know there's lots of bog in it, but it actually come up really well. So I've actually already bogged it. As I'm making this video, I've already bogged it and primed it up, and it's looking pretty damn good. I've also made a decision not to like try and hide things. Like for a while I was like a little bit ashamed or worrying about what, you know, you guys are gonna say, oh, you're a dodgy. But now I'm at the point, it's like, man, you can think what you like, you know what I mean? Like I'm confident enough in my own skills, and at the end of the day, it's my car, so I'll do it as good or as bad as I like. So you can see there's a few holes there, so obviously I did weld them up so that there's no longer holes, and it's those holes which is why the body filler actually started splitting out. So obviously weld the holes back up, clean off all of the rust, epoxy prime it up, body filler it up, and I guess one of the other main things is making sure that you don't have like a tin can type of effect. Like make sure that it's sort of solid and rigid, so it's not sort of moving around, and I did have that. Luckily these old cars did put a lot more steel in it than they do these days, so if it wasn't for that, the car probably would not be worth repairing at all, because there would be barely anything left of it. But that's about it for this video, guys. Hope you did enjoy this video. We're going to have another video coming up next week, but I've actually been a little bit busy. I've had a short break off this Torana just because I've gone and bought myself a C200. Well, for my wife, because she's learning how to drive, so I thought I'd get that Benz that I always wanted. So I'll be showing you guys that Benz in a future video. But until next time, hopefully you did enjoy watching this. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, tell your mates about it, share the video around. And if you'd like to support the show even further, then be sure to go and check out the link in the description where you can go and buy some awesome Gunman merchandise. We've got some new merch in stock at the moment, so there's hats, drink coolers, you know, t-shirts, hoodies, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, got those spray suits as well, which are pretty popular. Anyway, guys, hope you have a good one. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.